guys are looking for a mortgage snapshot that basically is like an all-inclusive, allows you to drip it to your sub accounts when you get new sub accounts so that they can use it as well. And then possibly integrate it into your LOS as long as the LOS allows for an API connection, right?
Dakota, yes, that's exactly what we're looking for. We're looking for that full workflow from start to finish through the process, the automation portion, and sorry, I have a 120-pound dog here with me. And basically, yes, if we could get that, which I believe our LOS system, which is LendingPad, does communicate in that format.
Okay, yeah, as long as you understand that they're two separate things, right?
Oh
So
yeah, absolutely, 100%.
snapshot has nothing to do with LendingPad. LendingPad's ability to connect to high level will be
Correct.
separate from all that. Yeah.
Correct.
So for the lending pad part of it, we connect our loan officers to my platform via Zapier. So you can map stuff from Zapier. You can't use Pabbly. Pabbly doesn't, I don't know, lending pad hasn't integrated with Pabbly yet, but Zapier they have. So it's an easy integration. You just ask the loan officer for their API key in LendingPad. I'm a loan officer too. I've been doing this for 30 years, so I kind of built it for myself about 4 years ago, and here we are on probably the 10th revision of it.
No, perfect. And that's great to know that you using LendingPad yourself?
Yes, yes. I'm at Nexa Mortgage, so we have LendingPad as well.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
So, Brady, you said it's currently connected through Zapier, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Sweet.
I have a tag that says new contact in LendingPad, so the loan officer gets notified when somebody fills out their loan application, and then it feeds the loan data in. There is some automation that you can set up. However, the problem with LendingPad is when somebody starts the loan and when they finish it, there could be a gap in there, but the minute they start it, the automation from LendingPad via Zapier, it's just all we get is add or update contact. That's it. So the minute they start the loan application, you can have automation go out, but I would hate to tell the realtor, oh, so-and-so just, took their loan application when in fact they started, but then they didn't finish until a couple days later.
Okay, which makes sense, but typically with our clientele, I do a lot of my own. I do our own lead gen, and basically we handle that before we even get it to a realtor. To be honest with you,
right?
You know how difficult it is to deal with referral partners sometimes. I mean,
well, you're absolutely correct. I mean that's why one of the things that Dakota loves about my snapshot is I've set up webhooks. So we have a referral page on the website. So another loan officer, a financial planner, realtor, whoever can refer a client to the loan officer. And so via webhook, the system will add the buyer's agent, the borrower to the system via webhook. It will attach the realtor to the borrower. It'll thank the realtor for sending the borrower. It'll reach out to the borrower and say, I was referred by the realtor. It'll notify the loan officer that they just got a new client referred to them from the website. All of that's in a webhook.
perfect.
If that makes sense. So, yeah.
No, I mean, knowing that it's coming from someone of your expertise of what it makes complete sense. You're literally looking at everything or speaking my language of what we're looking for.
Yeah. Well, and not to mention, we've built timestamps in here, which other high-level accounts don't have. So you'll be able to take that timestamp and reverse engineer it. It's 4 workflows. You can reverse engineer it. And then if you have another pipeline flow, such as, realtor marketing, let's say, you'll be able to see how I did it and add timestamps to that. Right now, I've got timestamps in mortgage process flow and milestone updates. The loan officer loves it because when they close that loan, they can see, okay, why was I in appraisal for 15 days? Was it the processor didn't move the tile, or did the loan officer not move it, or did they actually take 15 days to get the appraisal done? So you can evaluate from beginning to end where your hangups are in the process.
Where our gaps are.
Yeah, and it logs that in the notes section. So when you move the tile, it logs it in the notes section of that contact.
Perfect. Perfect. That makes Allison, that's just yeah.
So,
Okay.
so Brady, do you want to share it with them, or do you want me to share it with them?
I can share, that's fine.
Also, so Brady, if you have your lending pad set up on Zapier, we can actually do a copy from one Zapier account to another, and then literally move the workflow from one Zap to another Zap, and then they can just plug it in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, you'll get loan officers that say, hey, I want to track this, right? And you'll just have to see after you've made the connection initially, you'll have to see if that field is available. You'd be surprised what loan officers want to track. I'm like, really? Why do you need all that, right? It's just, anyway.
Yeah,
It's
the way
something I notice.
the way we're kind of setting it up, Brady, is we're myself, Allison, and one of our other partners, we're setting it up and we're just gonna make it across the board. Because just like you said, a lot of times they look at stuff that's not even needed to be looked at, and it takes away from what is trying to be accomplished. So we're setting it up so that it's completely across the board the same.
Well, absolutely. So I have loan information. So all of this will pull from Zapier. So you've got the loan size, loan to value, subject property. I had somebody say, well, why aren't we tracking purchase price? I'm like, well, the purchase price is your loan size. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they just, you know, they'll ask for certain little things. So there's 30 fields there that map for the most part, including the buyer's agent, you know. I personally want to reach out to my buyer's agent and say, hey, did you know that so-and-so's finance and appraisal date is coming up in 3 or 4 days? Or did you know our settlement deadline? You'd be surprised how many deals I've gotten from realtors because I'm reminding them about their job.
I feel the same way. I feel exactly the way you do. I feel like I've told Allison, we're building this in order to automate and to give more information, but the human touch that so many people have gone away from makes a huge difference on how to bring in more business.
Exactly.
Now, this is yeah, this is good.
So I have a lot of things that I've used in other CRMs that I liked. I have one called More Contact Settings. So I have a callback frequency. So if you have a real estate agent, a borrower, whoever you won't need to talk to once a week, you set a callback frequency. And then I've noticed HighLevel's come out with reoccurring tasks now. So it seems like whatever we create that they haven't thought of, it's like they're snooping on us and then they turn around and create it. Go figure, right? I know Dakota can vouch for that one. So we also have contact types too. So you can list contact types. So if you want, I can kind of give you that demo of if a real estate agent was to call me on the phone, or I can show you what the process flow would be from soup to nuts, and then what happens when you execute that.
That'd be great.
Okay, so I'll come over to the pipeline flow. So these three right here are all about nurturing. So I usually will start with my loan officers and I'll come right here. And I've got a guy that has a couple hundred loans he's tracking right now. No, I'm not kidding. Between follow-up and everything else, he's tracking them. And you can see the timestamp right there, 42 days, 11 hours and 30 minutes ago. It's every 15 minutes, it adds another ticker. So lead capture is from a lead capture site. So when a lead comes off of the site that you get, they fall in the lead capture site. A lead is somebody you don't know. You don't know them. They don't know you. Think about a Facebook ad. A prospect is a refinance or a referral. Okay. So that's where you would list that one. Okay. Now, application received. When you slide the tile to application received, it will stop all the outward drips that we're asking them to fill out an application or book a time on your calendar. Send broker packet. You'll have to do a little automation on that one because you'll have your own MLO agreement, privacy policy, and credit card authorization to pull and pay for the borrower's credit report. You'll just set that up. It's a quick little, you know, it's like pipeline slide, send out document, get the borrower to e-sign it, right? A little bit of a sign up. Now, we have a needs list. So your borrower, you can request W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, whatever you need. You can say that they've missed the document, you've rejected the document, you've accepted the document. it replaces Flowify. So guess what? Now you don't need Flowify. Okay, so you send out the needs list when the borrower sends them back, which incidentally, you can either have them upload the documents to LendingPad, or you can have them upload them to the loan officer's website, and it will show in the contact record. So if you pop over to the site, document upload. So right there, the borrower can upload the documents, and there's a thank you page afterwards. And so once the borrower sends in the documents, you move them to pre-qual. Pre-qual, what happens there, pre-qual simply is thank you for sending the items that we've requested. A member of my team or I will go through them. And then the do's and don'ts of getting a mortgage loan. That is the placeholder that is while they're out looking for a house, right? Or until you get all 6 items of information on a refi, they're out looking for a house, okay? Now you get the Rep C, the real estate purchase contract, you add the listing agent, you make sure all the associated parties are in place from transaction coordinators, escrow, whoever, right? And I'll show you all of this inside the contact record. Then once you get the Rep C, you move them to active loan. The active loan is simply a text and an email that goes out to everybody. Hey, we're excited. We're going to be working together, creating raving fans, blah, 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 right? And I've tried to make it so that all the workflows are easy to find based on the title. So send broker packet, right? It's easy to find. It's, you know, PL 7 or 8, right? Process flow in the workflow. Then you send out your milestone updates, okay? And then milestone updates go out. They go out to everybody. And then you go to funded. Funded, the way that I've set up funded is like a true ROI dashboard, right? You move it to funded and the contact disappears because you won the deal, right? So you would just have to change your settings to see everything. I have to tell that to my loan officers on occasion. And then if there is an interrupt to the file, it's either going to be credit repair or follow-up, credit repair, cancel. However, we used to have just the follow-up here, and that is simply just a task every 20 days to call the borrower. How's it going? We met back when, yada, yada, yada. You're ready to get started again. However, we had a we had a loan officer say, well, do you have something that will reach out 2 or 3 months from now? So I created a 6-month follow-up that you can move forwards and backwards. It doesn't matter. And what happens is if the borrower says, give me 3 months, you know, we had a death in the family, blah, 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 whatever the reason is, you put them in 3 months. The system at the 3rd month will reach out, send them a text, says, it says, not too long ago, we reached out, talked to you about a mortgage loan. You said talk to you in and around 3 months. Sometimes, often time frames move up. Are you ready to get started? And there's a whole series of texts, and you can move them back and forth. The credit repair one, you put the borrower in credit repair, but make sure you have your credit repair agent listed in the associated contact fields. What will happen is the borrower will be introduced to the credit repair person. The credit repair person will be introduced to the borrower, and then helpful hints about fixing their credit will be sent out over time. Okay, and then cancel just simply puts them in a 120-day wait and then starts the conversation again. Now, one thing that I've done that I've built with my snapshot, and take note of this, I love this. You're going to see I can change the drop down, I can change the pipeline flow, or I can add a tag. One of those 3 actions updates the other 2. So if I'm a loan officer and I'm talking to Brewster here and I find out they need credit repair, I bump them over to credit repair. But then when I go, if I'm a processor and I come in to look at Brewster because I have to do the next thing in line, I go to loan automation. Look, I'm in credit repair. Do you see that? So I moved the tile and it updated the pipeline flow, and it also added the tag credit repair and fired off the workflow. See how that happened? I don't know. I geek out about that because HighLevel didn't even think of that. Meaning that I can come in, if I'm a processor and I'm working the deal, I can go and put that person back to lead, hit save. And then if I, as a processor or a broker, a boss, whatever, and you'll see them pop in here in a second, that Brewster one, of course, Zoom and everything. Oh, there they are, Brewster right there. So see, I moved them from credit. Or, from follow-up to credit to lead. I did one of them in the drop down and it put them in the pipeline. My point is, you've got people, loan officers, that are used to other systems. Now, if they want to choose the drop down and somebody else wants to look at this, now you're right here with them. Okay, so how does it look when you're inside of an actual contact record? Okay, so let me reset this. We got a little end button there, and then there's the milestone. I don't think I have an end on the milestone, but I set it up with an end, so it'll reset everything, get rid of all their stuff. Let's come back to my Brewster here. I'm playing around with a chat bot, thanks to Dakota talking about AI close bots. So I was playing around. That's where I saw Jojo there a second ago. Anyway, let me reset this. Okay, so a real estate agent calls you up on the phone, okay, and says, hey, you know, I've got a borrower for you. Awesome. Brewster, blah, 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 whatever. So you're coming in, you're going prospect, purchase, thank the realtor for sending the deal. Now this one right here, to classify, start 15-day thanks and no application drip, email and text. So every 2 days until you toggle either application has been made or they've booked an appointment, and you can set up a little bit of automation through a calendar. However, once that's toggled, which is the appointment or application made, it will stop that drip going out to the realtor, meaning it'll say that the borrower's finally made application or they've booked an appointment to that referral party. If that hasn't been triggered, the appointment or application, every 2 days, that referral partner is going to get a text and an email saying, we still don't have an application. Have you heard, you know, can you reach out to them? Have you heard anything? That all happens right there. Now, we have associated contacts. Okay. So we had one of our loan officers ask for a drop down. So I was like, all right, I'll pre-program the system for those people that you work with on a regular basis, because unfortunately, HighLevel does not have a query existing contact to automatically populate fields. I mean, they've got associated contact, which is a whole other like thing, and I'm like, holy crap, you got to be kidding me. But it's got holes in it, and I've met with all the developers that are over it, and they're like, okay, yeah, we'll fix it, we'll fix it. But in the meantime, I've just now said, okay, prospect purchase, thank the realtor. I'm now going to add the buyer's agent. So in the drop down, I'm going to choose Happy Gilmore and I'll hit save. So now the system's going to do exactly what would have happened if they had done that through their website. You know, that all the things that I just did, I'm telling the system if they submit on via the website. So just like that, they're going to be in, you know, in a flow. The buyer's agent's going to get notified, you know, things of that nature. And now if we were to come back, there's your processor. So let me come back to that contact again. I think it was Brewster.
Yes.
Okay, come on, computer. Run slows. All right. So coming back here, you saw that I've got Happy Gilmore and the buyer's agent. And there is, right now it's just a little dot, but you can see because it's just a placeholder, because back when I built this, but there's your transaction coordinator, your listing agent. You can see dots there, the listing agent, escrow officer, credit repair. Okay. So the process of doing the associated contact is pretty simple. You're going into a custom field, you're putting the first and last name in, then you're going into a workflow following that, and then putting first, last name, phone, and email. So all we're doing is saying, if I've changed this custom field, we want to update this other custom field. So that's literally it. I just 2 or 3 clicks and
Brady,
the nurturing is going out.
So Brady, if I'm understanding what you're saying correct, once they update who the associated parties are and they switch it, it'll automatically update it within there. It won't have the dots. The dots are just
Right. Yeah. So the automation, and then
okay. That's fine. You know, you can probably skip the part about like where it's done at. We can go over that when we.
Well, I was just saying,
them.
because when you create a custom field in a workflow, you have to put something as a value in there. So I just threw a dot in. But yeah, you're basically coming in and putting in first, last name, phone, and email.
So basically, when you put the name in that field, the other screen is going to pop up to do to put in all the rest of the information, correct?
Well, yeah. So you have to program the associated contact. So I have 30 slots for buyer's agents.
Okay.
So you're going to go to that custom field and you're just going to put first and last name of your 30 top realtors that you work with. Then you're going to go to that. And I have all this recorded in a training. Dakota
Awesome.
made me do it. So I have all this recorded in a training. So when you acquire it, you'll have that recording and you'll be able to reference all this. And to be honest with you, I don't mind if you reach out with questions. I've still got, 2 or 3 of the last ones that, we've sent this to that I'm reaching, that they'll send me a video and I'll record it, and send it back. And so, yeah,
Awesome.
I do a lot of recorded videos, but
I
anyway,
appreciate that.
yeah. So basically this is it right here. And then the borrower takes application. So you can say application made, and then you can hit save. And then you've sent out, I mean, if you want to, like I said, you can also say application received there. It's kind of the same thing. I had loan officers that wanted to just slide the tile. So sliding the tile will change this to application made. So they're kind of redundant. They're kind of the same thing. Send broker packet. Once again, that's coming from payments, the e-sign feature deal. And then basically.
Well, one second, Brady.
Sure.
So Fabian, you guys are still relatively new to high level, right?
Yes.
So what he's referring to when he says sliding the tile, is 2 different ways to update it. You can update it within the contact record like he's showing you, or you can go to the opportunities card and slide the opportunity tile to a next step.
Oh,
Just so there's clarification.
thank you.
Sorry, I should have. I've been with High Level for 4 years. As you can see, I've done some customization. So
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
just a little bit, yeah. So anyhow, let's go back to, you can see Brewster's in prospect. So we'll go back over here to her, him or her. I don't know. If you want to have, there's a website called Mockaroo, and you can create 1,000, however many fake people you want for demonstration purposes. It's called Mockaroo.
Okay.
All right. So basically, application made. This one sits right here. This is when you have a fully executed Rep C. They fire off different things at different times, right? So we've got prospect. Let's say we've sent the broker packet. Okay, off goes the broker packet. The borrower e-signs it. I've gone through my credit with them. Unlike other loan officers, and I've, different systems, I want to sit down with the borrower and get everything I need from them at initial. I don't want them to just send W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, tax returns, and then I got to turn around and say, oh, by the way, I need this, this, and this. Oh, wait, by the way, I need this, this, and this. So I want to sit down with them, go over their credit report with them, which brings me to the needs list. Okay, so this one's a cool one. And once again, I probably should have gone into a contact that, is reset, but we'll, so basically you have your initial, right? So you're like, hey, I need driver's license, I need pay stubs, I need bank statements. Why are these all separate? Well, because every borrower is different, meaning I've had borrowers go to the realtor, come into my office with some documents in hand. So why am I going to ask for something when they have it in their hands? So I like to ask for the items separately. So, hey, I need tax returns. Now, we had a loan officer say, okay, they're not self-employed and I'm not doing a refi. Why is the header in the email? So I created a quick little header, meaning if you don't have this marked in the request from the borrower, there won't be that header, nor will they be asking for hazard insurance and asking for mortgage statement. Do you see what I mean? So
yeah.
In the header, if it's a refi, if it's self-employed, and then you've got, other items, and then you can list here like, letter of explanation for this. So you can list 4 other items and you can repeat this over and over and over again. Okay. So that makes it really nice. Now, when you're ready to send the request, obviously you're going to hit save and then you'll hit yes, and then you'll hit save again. And now that fires out that request. Okay. So that request goes out. Now the borrower starts uploading, whether it's LendingPad or the website, borrower starts uploading. Now you move them to pre-qual. Okay, and that's when that fires off that, move them to pre-qual. Now they're in that opportunity stage. Member of our team will look through it. Now the do's and don'ts of getting a mortgage loan. So now your team is looking at it. Oh, yep, I accept the driver's license. I accept the pay stubs, bank statements. I'm missing something. W-2s, I've accepted. Whoops. I've accepted, and personal tax returns I've accepted. So now you hit save again. And guess what? Up here, you can say, hey, I'm missing some items. They're going to get, and I'll show you the workflow, because being on Zoom and me popping around all kinds of craziness here, I think there's a little bit of delay on seeing it in the thread. There might be a 5-minute delay on something. So I'll show you what it looks like in the workflow, but it's got a colored dot legend. So when you say, hey, I need this or I'm missing this, the borrower's not going to say, well, what about all the other crap I sent you? Because literally it's got a green light, red light, or green, yellow, and red light legend, and right next to the item that they've sent in, it shows that you've accepted it, right? That's what they're going to see here is the green dot, past 2 years, W-2s accepted. That's what they're going to see in the email. So whatever you post here is what they're going to see in the email. All right, now moving on. So basically, I'm not going to go through the rest of it in consideration of time, but you can see this follows. It moves the tile. We go to, we finally have a rep C. So now we're going to, right here, update contact. You add your listing agent, make sure all your associated parties. Then you toggle that one, and you also go active loan, and then you hit save. Okay, so it's usually just 2 clicks. Let me plug my laptop in before it dies. It's 2 clicks, and that's it. Okay. And then now we're sending out milestone updates. Now, one thing you can do, and I've got some loan officers doing this, is loan sent to processing. So you may say, okay, at the pre-qual stage, while they're out looking for a house, or right at the very beginning when application is made, I want to send notification to the processor that there's a new loan. So you can decide, and it's really simple and easy, and I'd be more than happy to show you. It takes all of 2 minutes to set up that little tiny piece of automation. But in this case, active loan, I've checked out everything. I've added it to it. Now they're in active loan. Now they're in, active loan. We've let the realtor know and all associated parties, we're going to be working together on this house, the whole 9 yards, and loan sent to processing. So now if we come over to the opportunity stage again, but yeah, so the application milestone, you'll see that borrower right here. So they're in 2 pipeline flows. They're in the mortgage process flow, and they're in the milestone pipeline flow. And if the system would load, I could show you that there's a tag on there that will show how long the person is there. So here you can see under tag, mock data, new lead, weekly on Tuesday, hot, active loan, and loan sent to processing. So you're going to be able to see where they're at in the other pipeline flow as well too. So, and then once again, request title fees and title report. That goes to the escrow officer requesting your title fees and report. Disclosures went out. It's all self-explanatory. Hey, we've just sent out the disclosures. The letter of intent is in the documents. You need to sign them, or we can't proceed forward, right? Thank you for signing the documents. Hey, we've ordered the appraisal. We'll let you know when it comes back. This goes to all associated parties. We've sent the loan to underwriting. Hey, we've received the appraisal. The buyer's agent gets notified what the appraisal came back. The listing agent, obviously, it's none of their business. And so basically they will, they get notified that the appraisal came back, and that if we need to address something, the buyer's agent will reach out to you, type of deal. Approved with conditions, closing disclosure sent. Now, the one that there's no automation in the background here. Payroll request complete, it just placeholder, compliance done, whatever your internal. I like to get a wire, I like to send wire check and instructions to title, and then they wire the check to my broker, and then I get paid. I think it's all of $18, but that was an automation, which is just inside of that workflow, is where you add a Google Doc where they can click the link and there's your wire instructions. Pretty simple and straightforward. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. And then of course the website, I don't know if Dakota showed you the website yesterday, but we've got 8 mortgage calculators on here. They can be branded and parked on a realtor's website, and have the loan officer's information. Oh, one thing that we've done too is there's 239 workflows. Okay. So there's a lot of moving parts, which it's easy to find what is what and what is where. but we have this update form. So you can obviously change it to a different name. This update form, the loan officer is going to come in anytime they change their information. Okay. They're going to come to a live page, which I guess I'm not going to be able to open it, but it's just a form, and they'll fill out their, if they've changed companies, stuff like that. And I do a lot with my loan officers. Like I own isouragent.com and isourloanofficer.com. So I can give anybody a domain right out of the starting gate. You may want to do something similar unless it's, your company and you've set up their domain that way. Do a wildcard and then do a subdomain. Because I've got people coming in and adding their own for the agents, isouragent.com. So you get 5 co-branded websites that the loan officer and realtor can partner with on that, which is great. And then as far as the websites over here, there's an old site that we had, the one that you just saw, which is also custom value on the color, the logo, all that kind of stuff, so you can fill out a form there. Just listed 4-step site. That is really cool. It shows a luxury home, and then they fill out their first, last name, phone, and email. And then it shows how many bedrooms, bathrooms, pictures of the house, amenities, stuff like that. I can show you, and, part of acquiring this snapshot is updates that I do. We can kick out a new update for you. But what I want to do is clone that site 10 times and create 10 forms where the real estate agent or the loan officer can simply fill out a form. It populates the website, they attach a domain, and now they could have one realtor with 10 different listings or 10 realtors with one different listing. Now you're giving a little bit more in that regard. Here's the lead capture sites.
So I do have one question. Is it possible to have more than one transaction going under one contact?
There is, but there's caveats to it. The best way because you can see right here, I tried to do their custom object stuff. Before, LendingPad did not have an API that would connect to HighLevel. So what I would do is I would allow duplicate contact, and then I would have, Dakota 1, and then here's his property. Like I would say like Brady DeVoe - 1405 home, Brady DeVoe - 1305 home, right? That's what I would do with my borrowers who had multiple properties all going at one time. However, because of my loan officers wanting to integrate with LendingPad, and LendingPad doesn't have a way to differentiate, at least I haven't figured it out yet, in the connection to a particular person, I just tell my loan officers, copy all the loan information data, paste it into notes, reset that, and start anew. But that's because they had where they finished a primary residence 2 months prior, and now they're doing an investment property for that same person. So that was that particular case. However, it's not unheard of to do it inside of opportunities, but you won't be able, you'll have to manually enter in the data. What I mean by that is I have a client of mine, she loves what I built, but she also loves having inside of opportunities. You can add custom fields inside opportunities. So all her loan data, her dates, stuff like that was all inside of opportunities. All that is that she mentioned that she does a lot with investors. So she can have multiple contacts, the same contact, multiple versions of them at different stages, and have the contact field inside of opportunity. The problem is you can't pull into an automation from a contact field that lives inside of opportunity, hence another broken thing. So that's one that I'm trying to solve. Either associated contact but it doesn't come up that often. You might get, unless that's all you cater to as investors, but
I'm heavily on myself personally. I do cater to a lot of investors. Like right now, one investor alone, I have 4 transactions going.
Yeah. So in that case, there might be, because you'd probably have to turn on allow duplicate contact, and you may have to, I'd be willing to work with you on that, because I've met with all kinds of developers because they're missing something here to make all the connections meet, right? It's just how it is. So the way I've done it in the past is all I did was, you know, borrower first name, last name, dash 1405 home. So when the automation went out, their last name was all of that stuff. Now, you
Which
cannot,
that
here's the
actually
problem.
work.
We're
I
gonna do
have a
some training on
question.
that. Yeah. Yeah, what's up,
So
Alex?
is the Zapier build out included with the snapshot?
Yeah, I mean, I can forward the link. You'll pay your own Zapier fees and tasks and all that. But yeah,
Right.
I can forward the Zapier thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Allison, either Brady or our team, one of them, will make sure that the Zapier integration is working. As he mentioned, you just have to have your own Zapier account, which
Yeah. Okay.
depending on how many Zaps you're doing in a month can be anywhere from free to $30, something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
How many Zaps are included with the snapshot as far as what's attached to the workflows?
Well,
so Zapier and the snapshot are completely different.
yeah.
They're two separate things. Zapier
Right.
is a third party that integrates your LOS to the snapshot. So Zapier allows, I think, 100 tasks a month for free. When you get above 100, it starts charging you $30, I believe it is, for 750 of them.
No, sorry. My question was how many Zaps do I have connected to the workflows that are currently in the snapshot?
Oh, only one. It's the
Oh,
loan.
it's one. Okay.
Yeah, it's loan info. Well, there's one Zap, but if the borrower, or sorry, if the loan officer puts in lending pad their associated contacts, that will feed over to the system. So
Okay.
keep that in mind. And
Cool.
one other caveat I would say is even though you add the associated contact to the associated contact fields, always, always, always add everybody as a contact in the system, period. First name, last name, phone, and email. Because when my automations fire, it's going to be a text and it's going to be an email. If they're not a contact in the system, you're going to see a phone number, nothing else. You're going to see an email, nothing else. So I tell everybody, like if you were signing up for Gearbox, I'd be like, yeah, add everybody as a contact first, period, always, you know,
Okay.
unless it
Makes
comes
sense.
from the website. Now, here's the branded mortgage calculator, and we've also set up an event registration. So that form, you click that preview link, you fill out the form, it updates a registration page. There's a workflow. So if your loan officers want to do a weekly lunch and learn and invite a bunch of realtors, it's these two things right there. And then this one here is for the calculator. Oh my goodness. I internet issues. But anyway, you could pick your color scheme. You can add the loan officer's branded information. You can grab the code and then send it over to the realtor. They can park it on their website. This right here was a pretty penny to get that done. And I originally wasn't going to include it in the snapshot, but I said, what the hell? We're all loan officers. Let's work together, right? Oh, anytime somebody does something on the site, they're sent a thank you page right here that says, where do you want to go to next? Fill out a loan application, book a time on my calendar, or go here. And then for A2P purposes, terms and conditions and privacy policy. But all of this, I do a lot of manual setup for my people just because they have no clue. So it's easier for me to take 15 minutes and set it up. So it's just how it is. But yeah, any questions or anything? I think Dakota's probably like, we need to get going.
I don't have any more questions.
Neither
Fabian,
do I.
Jose?
No.
So does it look like the snapshot it does everything that you guys needed to do?
Yes.
Okay. If you guys are still interested in it, Fabian, do you still have the link for it?
I believe I do.
And then so once you sign up for that, what will happen is somebody from our team will reach out to you to walk you through how to get us access to your account, so we can go in and get it loaded properly. And then we'll get you some training videos over in case you decide you want to watch them. You're welcome to. You have access to them, you know, basically for as long as you need. And then if you need help getting yourself onboarded into the snapshot, then we can either schedule a time on either our calendar or Brady's, or both, and kind of walk you through that.
Okay. Not a problem. I'll get with Allison and Jose. We'll go over it. And if I have any additional questions, Dakota, I have your direct number. I'll just shoot you a text.
Yeah. Feel free. Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Anything else? Jose, you have any questions?
Nah, I don't have any questions. That was a great presentation.
And Dakota, what is the total price for this at the moment?
$12.95. And it includes lifetime support.
And any updates, correct?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, yeah. No, so if there's any updates, because so for you to update your sub accounts, it'll be easy. You'll literally click a button and push the updates to your sub accounts. Because you're outside of our agency, then updates have to be loaded in. So we send you a new link, and then walk you through the steps on how to download the actual updates into your snapshot.
One recommendation I would make is create a sub account as the snapshot. Don't import the snapshot into an active account. Create a sub account that becomes your new snapshot to share to your other loan officers. That makes sense?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
my plan initially,
Yeah.
because I figured it would be a lot to try to add all of that to an existing sub account.
And I don't know how HighLevel does this. Maybe Dakota can help me. So if they create a sub account and they've taken a snapshot I've given them and update that sub account, and I send them a new updated snapshot link and they update or they import that one, do you know if they go to send that new one to the sub account, if it will duplicate everything? I might want to test it myself, because I've
So,
seen where they'll have what?
Brady, yeah, we'll walk them through all of that. So
Okay.
when the update is sent to them, they'll update their master sub account and then push the changes to all of their existing sub accounts.
Okay.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Okay.
No, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate your time.
Thank
Thank you
you.
guys. Bye.
See you.
Pleasure meeting you.
You too.
Bye bye.